Good morning. Charlie O'Hara back in the studio today to answer your legal questions. Need some free legal advice? Well, give us a call right now, 436-1212. Charlie, you and I have been missing each other the past few weeks. It is good to see you in the studio.
Good to be here.
Well, we have a call online. We're going to go ahead and get that right now.
All right.
Hi there. What's your question for Charlie today?
I want to know the difference between conservatorship and guardianship. My ex-husband's nephew has guardianship over some of his business, and I didn't know about the financial part. That's what I'm basically trying to figure out.
Well, basically, usually the terms kind of go together. They're basically taking over someone's affairs. A guardian, I think, would be taking over the person themselves and making the decisions for the person, like, whether they go to the doctor and what happens if they go to the hospital and decisions like that. Conservatorship is usually for financial reasons. But usually they go together because if someone can't make decisions for one, they can't make decisions for the other. So it would be very rare that they would be separated. Usually when someone gets really old and they can't make decisions, or they get hurt some way, or they're mentally incapable, you can get a guardian conservatorship for them. So that's where it usually happens.
Okay, thank you, Charlie. Charlie and I were talking during the break just a moment ago, and you were telling me about how drug offenses that you've seen are getting stiffer penalties and punishments. Tell me about that.
Well, it's in state court, actually. They changed. We have guidelines, and what they do is they have a chart, and where you fall in this chart is how much time you're supposed to get. That doesn't mean you always get that, but that's what you're supposed to get. And they increased those based in state on the quantities of the drugs, so it's made a huge difference. Some crimes that used to be people would probably get probation rather easily on now carry a prison term, and they would have to really fight to not go to prison. So it's made a huge difference.
Well, and of course at this point, you're saying you're seeing more of these. People really need to be aware of this if they're thinking about partaking in any kind of activity like this.
Well, that's true, and then it's even made more complex by the fact that Colorado, just across the border, has marijuana legalized in small quantities. So people can't bring that back across the state line like you would think you could do, or anything like that. If you're in Colorado and you do something with marijuana, you can't have it when you come back across Kansas.
Have you heard anything? Are these stiffer penalties in relation to the Colorado situation because they're trying to deter that kind of behavior?
I don't know what they're really for. I can't really get into the legislature's mind. I assume they wanted some larger quantities of drugs were getting probation, and they didn't like that. But then they affected a lot of quantities, so it's really hard to say. But I assume it was because of the larger quantities. State court and federal court have different penalties, so you have to compare the two, which is something that we really couldn't go into much in depth on this show.
Okay, thanks, Charlie.
Okay.
We have another call on the line we're going to get to right now. Hi there. Good morning. What's your question?
Hi. Good morning, Charlie. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. I have a question. I was wondering if a company can force you, per the state of Kansas, to have direct deposit.
Well, not that I know. That would be something I would not know of. I don't know what you mean by force. They could say it's a requirement of the job. That wouldn't be forcing you to, because you don't have to have it. But if you want to work at that place, they want all their monies to be directly deposited. I think they could probably make it a condition of employment. If you didn't have a bank account or something, they've got to have some exceptions. Some people don't have bank accounts for different reasons. It's because people are trying to collect money from them or something like that, or they're in some kind of a divorce proceeding or an IRS proceeding. But usually I would think that the company itself could make that a requirement.
Which would mean then if you did not do that, if you did not sign up for that, they could have what reason to let you go? Or
well, I mean, if you take a job and say, well, your job is you have to do this X, Y, and Z, and also you have to do direct deposits. If you don't want to do it, don't take the job. Well, that's kind of the freedom that we have in the United States, and I think the employer can do it as well as the employee can do that.
Okay, well, great question. Thank you, Charlie. Have a great week.
Okay.
We'll be back with more Eyewitness News coming up next. Stick with us. We have entertainment news right on the way.
Expect more from KSCW. This is Eyewitness News this morning in high definition. Online at kwch.com.